Hey you guys, welcome back. So I haven't given you guys an update on my garden in a while. I did record a video like a week or so ago, and I went back in to edit the video and it didn't have any audio, and I didn't feel like doing a voiceover, so here I am recording again. So I want to give you guys another update on everything. We're out front first just to kind of see what's going on. So let me flip you guys around. All right, you guys, so here are the 3 pots here. As you can see, the marigolds are blooming. So there's 3 marigolds in this pot, and then a nasturtium here. The dill started coming up that was here, but then it died, so I think that one's just not going to come back right now. The milkweed started turning yellow a little bit, so I fertilized them. I don't know if it's just poor drainage. I did realize that with these pots, it did have 2 drainage holes in them, but I don't think that that was enough, so I should have poked more holes in them. I actually just did that with the pot that I have in the back that I have the strawberries in, and that was a lot of work, so that's not going to happen with these. But for future me, I will know to poke more drainage holes. But not all the milkweed are doing bad, and like I said, I fertilized them, so hopefully they'll be doing a little bit better. Same thing with this bed. Marigolds. There's actually 3 nasturtiums that popped up in here. Oh no, 4. So I'm going to probably move. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm probably going to end up moving one of these to that bed, and that'll be 2 and 3, and 2 in one bed, 3 in the other bed. As you can see, some of these milkweed are kind of turning yellow as well, so I don't know if they'll make it. The dill in this one seems to be coming up and doing okay. So that's those 2 beds, and then this middle bed is still kind of, it's not empty, but it's nothing has sprouted yet. Well, I won't say nothing has sprouted. So I'm not sure about these Forever Susan lilies. Those ideally should have sprouted. I think it said 2 to 4 weeks, and this week made 4 weeks, I believe. So I planted these on 4/30, and I planted an Arabian Night dahlia and a Crazy Love dahlia, and as you can very tiny see, this is coming up, so I'm super excited about that guy. So that's the Crazy Love dahlia. I planted these on, it looks like 5/12. I think I planted both of the dahlias on the same day, so it's been a little less than a month for that. So I'm excited about that coming up. And if you guys remember that I spilled that pack of dill seeds, so let me show you that they have kind of started to sprout. I haven't seen them anywhere else in the garden because I kind of spread the seeds. Oh, actually I do see some over there. So I'm going to show you guys, those have started sprouting in the mulch that I spilled them in. This was the main area that I spilled them in, so those are sprouting. Those were the tetradill, and then I kind of threw some, so it looks like there's one that might be coming up here, and then another dill there. So any of the dill that survive here will be for the pollinators, so that's exciting that there's some that have come up. And then on the front, my mom has some, I think these are hostas in these front 2 pots. And then I have a rosemary here. This rosemary is going to be traveling to North Carolina. Then I have a second rosemary here. This is also traveling to North Carolina. And then this smaller rosemary here is going to be staying here in Maryland in the front. So I'll have 1 rosemary up front here, and then these 2 bigger ones are going to North Carolina. Okay, you guys, so now we're in the back. I've been doing a little bit of stuff back here, so it's looking a little chaotic, but I will show you guys an update of what's kind of going on, what I have growing, what I'm trying to do right now. This is the first day that it hasn't been raining, so it's the first time I've been able to really get out here and do stuff. So let's see what's going on in the garden. So first thing I will show you guys, these are the 2 pots that I planted the other dahlias that I had. And there's something yellow in there. I'm actually kind of scared to see what that is. But so Crazy Love Dahlia, Arabian Night Dahlia, neither one of those have come up yet, but those are those. And then I have a little compost area here. I need to actually take this downstairs to the compost bin, but I have my what are these? Rosemary that I grew from seed. So these are the tiny rosemary. I have another pot like this. Well, not a terracotta, but another pot with some rosemary from seed that are in North Carolina. So I don't know how those are doing right now, but we will see in about a week. And then I have my potato plants. Somebody recommended to fertilize those with bone meal, I think. So I did that a couple days ago before the rain started. I won't get a chance to do that in North Carolina because I saw the person that is kind of looking over the garden there a little bit, and those look pretty dead. So I don't know if they're ready to harvest or if the disease just kind of took them out. So we'll see about that next week. But potatoes are doing pretty good. I have a basil over here and a basil over there. So this is there, and then a smaller bag here. I have a pinto bean. This is a bush bean I put in here. It looks like it's struggling a bit. I don't know if something ate on it. And then I just put this parsley in here. I took it out of the strawberry bed. And then basil, and then I took a smaller strawberry plant and put it in here. And then we have some dill back there. The next bed we have snapdragons and zinnias. So none of those are blooming yet, but they are growing. Looks like something is happening here, not too sure. But they're still alive and kicking for now. And then I have 3 oregano plants here. So I took these oregano plants out of the pots that I had that the bell peppers are supposed to go into, just because these are smaller bags and I didn't want the oregano to overtake the bell peppers and stuff that were going to be in there. So I just took them out, split them in here, and at least 1 or 2 of these I'm going to be giving away. I already cut these back and they're already growing back. So oregano grows pretty quick, and I also have oregano in my other 2 beds over there that I'll show you. But I have my parsley is finally growing. In my last video that I didn't have the audio, I think that was the last video I did, I fertilized the parsley. So I don't know if it's the rain or the fertilizer or a combination of both that's gotten those to start. But these were small for such a long amount of time. So I fertilized them like before we got all this rain. And then another pinto bean. I did this back on 4/17, and I think when I did it, it was still a little too cool, so this one got stunted. And I'll show you one that I planted after that is way bigger. And then, like I said, I showed the one over there. I think that's it that's in here. So that's some weeds that need to come out. And then this is the strawberry bed that I've been messing with today. So as you can see, I don't know if you guys remember, I did mulch this, so I took some of that out. I took all the soil out and put it in like these containers so that I can drill more holes into the bottom of that. That's why there's all this mess on the ground. So I'm gonna re-put mulch back in here so that the strawberries aren't touching the soil like they are now. But there are a few strawberries, because the strawberries weren't doing too well. They were a lot like this, where they're molding or just weird looking. So I saw somebody posted a video and recommended, that if your strawberries aren't doing too well, like check the crowns. I think the crowns, I had them buried a little too deep. So I just took them out and then replanted them so that they weren't as deep as they were. And then, like I said, I drilled more holes in the bottom of this. When I did take out the soil, there was at the bottom, a lot of the soil was like very wet. So I think that could have been part of the problem as well. So hopefully that's not a problem anymore. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, I rearranged the pot. So I had the 2 tomatoes over here and then the mint was over here. But I think that over here it gets a little bit more sun than over here because of this grill. So before, the mint was like kind of turning purple, which I know is kind of a cold weather or too much sun, and they weren't really growing. So I moved them over here. So between that and the extra rain, these have gotten drastically bigger since the last time I did a video. Leaves are getting a lot bigger. So these are the regular mint, and then this is the strawberry mint, which smells so delicious. As you can see, they're still a little discolored, but they are definitely growing. So I'm excited to use the strawberry mint for something. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but if you guys have any suggestions, if anybody has has used strawberry mint before in the kitchen, drinks, anything like that, drop a recipe in the comments below. Moving on, we have 2 10-gallon grow bags. These are both identical. These basil have gotten a lot bigger since I planted them. If I can resource the video that I planted them in, I can show that. But the tomatoes, these are the tomato bush Italian Roma. So these aren't going to get super big. They're going to give like a good flush of tomatoes, and they might give a little bit more after, and then they're done. But I have 1 tomato in each bed, 2 basil plants. These are the Genovese or however you pronounce that. And then I have 2 of the strawberry marigolds. And then I have oregano and green onions. So it's a pretty packed pack of bags here. Back here, if I can get to it, is the same as the other potato bag. So potatoes, 2 basil. I think there's 2 basil, or maybe 1. It might be hiding. Oh yeah, so there's a basil here, and then a basil back there. And then these 3 bags are pretty much identical. So there's marigolds. These are the dwarf bolero marigolds. So red and orange color. They're so pretty. So this one's actually gotten pretty big compared to this little guy. And that one is not as big, but it's still. So these are, I think these are the Better Boy tomatoes. So these are drastically bigger than my little dwarf guys over here. And as you can see, where did the guy go? Oh, there's a little mater growing on here. So that's exciting. So 3 tomatoes. Each of these have, I believe, let's see, like I showed you the marigolds. They have some lettuce in here. I just succession planted some lettuce. There's the basil. I think that's it that's in here. Probably some weeds that need to come out. So this lettuce needs to be harvested. It's leaning and starting to bolt. Marigolds, more lettuce that's bolting up here. Basil, marigolds, bolting lettuce that's up here, and then more lettuce that's starting to grow here. And these are the pots that I mentioned earlier for the peppers. So here is a red bell pepper, orange bell pepper. This one was supposed to be a green bell pepper. That's the one that died. But the bell peppers, these were overwintered. I don't know if these need to be cut back some more, if these stems are just too long, or I don't know. But there's only growth on this one stem. So I don't know if maybe it just needs to be fertilized, if it just needs to, I don't know. But I put some parsley, basil, green onions, pretty much the same in all of these. And the same thing with this orange bell pepper. It has both of these points here, but it only has growth on this one stem. Then we have parsley, green onions. This one has spinach. And then same thing with this one. This one has spinach. This one doesn't have a bell pepper yet because I'm growing it since the other one died. I started more bell pepper seeds. Next, I think this is a petunia. It looks like it's starting to try to flower, but it already looks like it's dying. But lots of leafy growth. I need to fertilize. I do need to fertilize with the bloom stuff, whatever fertilizer. That was my plan to do. I probably should do it today or tomorrow. I just wanted to give the rain time to stop. But marigold, this one has not bloomed yet. And then more parsley. I have 2 parsley plants here. Another marigold that is being overtaken by the green onions. As you can see, these were green onions that were bought from the store, and I put them in here. Well, they were in a different spot before. Eventually they got put to here, but they are taken over. One's actually bloomed, so that's exciting and cool. So I just left that one. It's actually broken, but I guess since it's hanging on by a thread, it's still alive. But we have kale here that's doing pretty well. I think that was kale from last year, so it's going to seed a little quicker than I would like, but that's okay. We have bolting cilantro. I did actually just dig this up a couple days ago, but then I put it back in here because I was like, I'll just leave it in here for pollinators. And then we have dill back here. And then we have lettuce. This lettuce I actually took out of one of the tomato beds and put it in here because we had other lettuce that was harvested and there was just empty space. So I just took one out and put it over here. We have a marigold, and then I also took out one of the smaller strawberry plants, put it in here. See how that goes. So yeah, that is my current status. Everything's kind of a mess right now. And then I do have some of my indoor plants out here. This one's struggling a bit, but we'll see how that goes. So that is everything. Oh, actually, forgot to show you guys my seedlings. So these are the peppers. I need to actually pot these into cups so that I can give some away. I have way too many peppers. I have these peppers here, and then I have another 6 peppers. So I have 4 of each color. So I have 4 red, 4 yellow, and 4 orange. And then I also have 1 yellow one here because this is the one that I was going to replace with the green one that we tried to overwinter, and that one didn't make it. So at least 3 of these I'm giving away tomorrow. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with the other ones. And then we have spinach here that seems to, this one might have died. But the spinach I'm giving away, the broccoli I'm giving away. So the spinach and the broccoli, and then 3 peppers are going to my cousin. She's coming to pick those up tomorrow, or we're going to go meet so she can have that tomorrow. And then the basil, the rosemary, one of the oregano plants that I mentioned earlier is going to a friend. And then these 2 zinnias here are going to go back to North Carolina. And then I have these tomato plants. I don't really know what I'm going to do with them. They have been pretty small still for a long period of time. I'm hoping that the rain might help catch them up. But these were all planted at the same time that these ones were planted. But they didn't get separated and they were small for a while. So I don't know if that just stunted their growth and then nutrients and all of that. And then I don't know what's going on with these broccoli plants. If anybody knows, I feel like this is some type of like bug that's burrowing in the leaves or something. But if anybody knows what that is or how to stop that from happening, like organically stop it. I don't want to have to use pesticides. But like I said, these are going to my cousin, so I'll have to kind of help her with dealing with that if those make it. But that is it. Yeah, guys, if you guys have any advice, recommendations, like I said, somebody in my comments mentioned putting bone meal in the potatoes. I did that. Hopefully those will start to flourish more. The ones in North Carolina, I think, are goners. I'm pretty sure those were like dead and falling over. But those are close to time. I think I feel like June was the time that I was supposed to be harvesting those in North Carolina, and then the ones here will be in July. So they might be a little early, or they just might be dead because of the disease that I showed you guys before. So I'm not sure until I get there. I need to figure out how to try to maintain the garden there better when I'm not there. So the person that's there might have to do a little bit more work here and there, but we'll see how that goes. So thank you guys for joining me. I am excited about this journey. Hopefully things are gonna start like actually growing and popping now. Like I showed you guys, there's already a tomato growing, so that's super exciting. I don't have a lot of stuff that's gonna produce a lot of like fruit per se. So there's the potatoes, there's the strawberries, of course, the tomatoes, and that's kind of it. Everything else is like a leafy green, or the bell peppers. But everything else is like a leafy green or flowers, which I did want to go heavy on flowers this year. I didn't want to do too much. Like, it does seem like it's a lot, but it's definitely a lot less stuff that's like fruiting type stuff, if that makes sense. I don't know. And a lot of this isn't just my stuff. Like 6 of these bags are my mother's. So hopefully she'll learn to take care of them herself, and I can focus on my stuff. And then the ones that I'm giving away to people, those will be gone, so I'm not babying anything else. And then everything's on water irrigation, so when I do travel, I don't have to worry about, that being a problem. But yeah, so I'm going to get back to mulching my strawberries, I believe. And then I think I'm going to be done out here for the day. So thank you guys for joining me once again. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share, and join me in the next one. Bye.